Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, Speed Gaming, and welcome to a Week 4 matchup of the Super Metroid Dash Rando 2024 Mystery Tournament. This is a 1-2 matchup between phatscott and Sunflower. I am Crazy Gamer, and joining me for commentary is D-Web. D-Web, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. We have a exciting race. I'm excited to see this release. These are two runners I've been keeping track of. Sunflower going under a new name now, but she's been around and she's pretty good. Had some tough opponents. I think her losses are to Zeb and I forget who she faced in the first round, but I think he was pretty good too. And Fat Scott also, I think, done more vanilla than Rando, but also been around for a while, if my memory is correct.
Yeah, Sunflower's matchups were Sunroof Farmer, Papa Schmo, and Zeb 316. So that is some competition right there.
For certain, yes. And we are underway here in the mystery tournament. So we have several different parameters possible in the seed that are randomly selected by the randomizer generator. We do not know what we're going to play until we get into it. The first thing you notice is the HUD. We have a 20, which means we have a form of starter charge, and we do not have a countdown HUD. So we are not playing full randomizer, either major minor or Chozo.
Yeah, we'll have to see when we get down there what the item split is. I'll, all three of my matchups in this tournament so far have been Chozo. So I would like to see anything, even though I'm not playing in this one, I would like to see something that's not Chozo.
I had Chozo in my first round matchup, but I've had full sense, so have some interesting things going on. It looks like something is there's a little bit of cutoff on Fat Scott's side, but I'm sure we can get that fixed quickly here. We have a vanilla morph ball, which does not give us any additional information. Could still be either Chozo or Major Minor. And we
All right,
have
both are heading to
two.
the right.
Yes, and that's a missile in the ceiling, so we are not playing Major Minor. Unfortunately for my co-commentator, it looks like you're getting more Chozo in your life.
Lovely.
And both of them are getting some missiles in their life. Couple there.
All right, so if we don't see power bombs coming up, then they'll have to leave behind the meme route, and we'll have to check if this is area rando in some other fashion.
There they are.
All right, so we got one item coming up, and then check a portal to see if we're vanilla or if we're area rando. It is a
Yeah,
2/3 chance of it being area rando, so it's likely.
right. I have been seeing some people with no E-tanks elect to just skip this. Both of our runners are going to get an E-tank and be totally fine. So, not
Yeah,
necessarily worried about what could happen here. But yeah, Sunflower is electing to just go back up the elevator. And we're going to not necessarily know because we killed the enemies. What he's okay.
that feels
Interesting.
like a hedge kind of, which I'm like, if it's vanilla, then you just power bomb and go back, or at least you check the things you can in Green Hill.
Yeah, I don't know. If I personally don't particularly like meme route without supers, and I'm a little bit less of a fan of than other people in general. I don't. I mean, I know it's like pretty good to really good, but it's it's a little bit dangerous. Your power bomb resource management is a lot tighter. That's one of the things that I don't like about it. Also, there's a lot of Chozo items in criteria, and not able to check Gauntlet right now, but you could get that ability. It was a bit of a stop from Sunflower, but she is back in motion with this ledge grab climb.
there are 3 major items in criteria, but we know they can't be suits, so, well, Chozo items, I should say.
Yep. One of our energy tanks here has been found. With the power bombs, it's funnily enough, as I was talking about how I kind of don't like meme route, the progression Chozo wise was actually to go through meme route, because besides that energy tank that we just saw, the only other Chozo item that power bombs open up is charge beam. You don't need any missiles to get there. There's a green door behind you that closes, but you don't need to open it. So there's probably some kind of missile there, but obviously we have missiles found elsewhere. And here's a nice speed booster at the BT location.
Seeing that before Upper Norfair is always great.
Yes, it is. Another potential advantage of not doing meme route. It's less impactful in Chozo, where you don't have to worry about waterway, but you can get speed a little bit earlier if it happens to be up here. And it's very nice in Greenbritain. Lots of long runways, especially there in the Decora room.
Well, this is spicy. Is Phatscott going to check Gauntlet?
Yeah, with 3 tanks, you can spark the first set of blocks. Well, what you probably would want to do is open them, shoot the door, and then spark through. And that would get you through all the bomb blocks in the first room, and then you can use your power bombs in the second room. We'll see if that is what he wants to do. With the speed, being able to break the Terminator blocks, and then this refill up here for the B-toms, you're going to be fine. It's a super and a power bomb in the back if that is what Phatscott ends up doing. Suppose his other options include the short charge implemented in the vanilla map. We didn't actually have that confirmed. I had forgotten that because we strangely didn't see. I was acting as though it was vanilla map.
So Scott is just scouting this?
He's either scouting or he's going to plan to do this really, really, really tight short charge that you would see in 100% runs. And there's Spazer. He knows about it, which is something.
I mean, you know not to go back to it, but it's an amount of time that's just gone.
And Sunflower seems to be having a little bit of indecision or confusion. She's got the speed booster and missed the mock ball, and then didn't go for the speed and ended up down there. I also happened to peek the race time chat earlier and noted that she was a little bit confused about how the items work. I assume she's played Chozo at some point, but didn't seem to recognize, was thinking it could have been full without the HUD, which was not the case. So hopefully she'll be good to go here and show off her movement prowess, which I know to be pretty good.
I mean, it's not inconceivable that this is her first time playing Chozo in the tournament, so.
Correct. Do finally have a super missile here behind Brinstar Reserve. And a missile at the reserve proper. So we're going to get some ammo here. With starter charge, you still probably want to be getting an amount of ammo early. The missiles are the things that get cut off earliest, as we attempted the reverse mock wall there. Almost got it. Having already picked up that item, she was not needing to go up here, but that is a tough trick.
We didn't see the any logical ammo so far, right?
Right. It's definitely at charge mean. Missile or a super. Almost certainly a super, given that you do need a super to progress past the either the big pink area, or if you meme routed, the green hill zone is also a green door. And if you try to go the other way, there's a green door at landing site. So yeah, almost certainly a super at charge. And if it's not a super at charge, it's a super at spore spawn, because those are our only options.
Yeah, the thing I was gonna mention is that the missile on the Chozo statue was blocked by a red door, so you need to have a logical missile or super missile to get that. So it's just something interesting to note.
Yep, and phatscott did go for and successfully get the reverse mock ball. Nicely done. As both of our runners are down here in the minor only Edekun's area. Sunflower already going down there, and phatscott following suit. Possibly, like I said, if you are used to major minor, you come down here, and there's a major where that missile was, and you're happy about it. And here is confirmation of Starter Plus, which is going to confuse our runners further, frankly. If they are confused about Chozo, how Starter Plus works is there are 2 charge beam upgrades. Both of them will add 100% of your base beam damage to your output, going from the original starter is beam damage. Starter level 1 is double, and the full starter when you pick up 2 is full charge beam, which is triple beam damage. And like I said, there's that super. But in Chozo, there is one charge beam that is logical on the Chozo statues, and there's another that is in the wild, and we happened to find it. And phatscott even went as far as the Edikun Power Bomb. We'll see if our runners... Well, Sunflower did come here to the Spore Spawn item and not go to the Wave Gate, so seemingly she has gotten a hold of the Chozo. That if she just wanted to come here first, who knows? We find
What
an Ice
happens,
Beam.
yeah.
Ooh, another Hundo strat. Nice power bomb late into sparking up here. I'm glad to see that.
Just showing off at this point.
Hey, if you got it, might as
Yeah.
well let them know, right?
Yeah. But this is interesting. You usually do not see Mission Impossible in Chozo just because it's a little bit of a slower check among all the minor items that are around.
That is correct. Found a power bomb there, up to 15. As Sunflower is headed to Red Tower. This is one of the crucial points of a Chozo or a vanilla map seed. You've got the wreck ship above you. You've got Norfair and Meridia below you. It can be pretty crucial which direction you elect to go. It's also the case in Chozo. There is a big item up there at the Alpha Power Bombs. Typically, I would expect people to go there, regardless of heading the wreck ship or Norfair first. But we're just gonna come to the Spazer location and find our second super missile.
So Sunflower's going to head down from Red Tower. We'll see what Scott wants to do if he chooses to go up instead. Can get to the wreck ship pretty easily with speed booster, but we'll see what he wants to do.
Yes, indeed, and we'll see if Sunflower wants to go Business Center first or Kraid first. She does have super missile selected. That looks like Kraid to me. Oh, misses that diagonal shot. But we will be looking at our first boss area of the seed. We have 4 potential boss modes, those being vanilla, which, as you would expect, the bosses are where they are supposed to be in the vanilla game. We have shuffled bosses, where bosses are, at least 2 of them are not home, and whatever doors the bosses would open in the vanilla game are which gray doors they would open in a shuffled seed. For example, wherever Kraid would be in a shuffled seed is how you would unlock the Kraid E-Tank location, which is just a minor in Chozo, but is more impactful in other places. Fantoon also opening up wreck ship regardless. Shifted, similarly, there's one of each boss like shuffled, but the bosses open whichever area they are physically located in. So a little bit different how things work there. So Kraid in the wreck ship would open up the wreck ship, not Fantoon and Lore Norfair, for example. And then there's Surprise, which works the same as Shifted, but each boss area is independently randomized. You could get repeat bosses, for example. Oh my goodness.
Good pickup.
Very, very good pickup indeed. The Variasuit at the aforementioned Chozo statue at Alpha Power Bombs. There is not a really good way to have gone this direction and get that without losing time.
So I'm not. If Scott was fretting the Fantoon fight, I don't think he has to really fret it. But he's choosing to go back. I guess he's gonna push the Varia suit and get whatever advantage he can from that.
Yes, very much makes you want to go down, as we did have a vanilla crate and a nicely executed quick kill by Sunflower, showing off a little bit of a interesting setup to normalize timing, some looking back and forth, just break dancing right in front of Crade's face. Bad manners, in my opinion, but it looks stylish, so that's cool as well. And yes, there was a second charge upgrade behind Crade. That is the Chozo logical one. So we do have a full charge. You're going to be getting the normal beam damage amounts in the HUD that you would expect. As you see, 90 for charge ice. And possibly some hull runs in our future from Sunflower. But Fat Scott going to be coming down here and cruising through this hot area with all the protection he needs.
So it's always an interesting sort of decision point. Now that Scott's going to absolutely come across that second charge upgrade. So at this point now it becomes, do you hunt for ammo or do you hunt for beams? And your ammo is going to be guaranteed pretty much as you're going through the seed, but you do have to pick them up as you go along, but your beams are not guaranteed. So it's always a interesting decision to see what people go for.
Yes. As Fatsagat seems to have gotten a hold of the Chozo item splits, I personally, as we find a wave beam, and he actually already knows where Spacer is, I like, especially with 3530 already, like, I wouldn't look at a single other minor item after I got this next charge upgrade. 90 is a very weak beam. You really don't want to be finishing the game there, but your ammo is already good enough. And Chozo, the item pool is much smaller than a major minor, for example. So the beams are decently likely to show up, at least a couple of them. And like I said, already knowing about Spacer, if you really want to, you could elect to recollect that at the end of the game. And we've got the ice beam. We're going to probably run into wave beam looking for gravity. So that's real nice. We are on one missile, so Fascott elects to do the GT classic strategy of power bombing those early enemies. Nicely done, as Sunflower is rewarded, having done Ice Beam first, by getting an E-Tank here in the high jump area, as well as the bombs at the Chozo statue. So,
yeah, let's see.
Especially with... So there you go.
I was going to say, let's see if Scott can get the great quick kill, and that looks pretty good.
Very nicely done, yes. Gonna say with 5+1 and speed booster, not gonna have really any issues with these hull runs. The issue is that they don't need to be hull runs, and if you find gravity or high jump, for example, not gonna be able to push that into lower Norfair. I am not aware of Sunflower's prowess at a potential bootless dive, nor am I familiar with Fat Scott's ability, so we'll see if either runner ends up making that play if we can't find said gravity or high jump boots.
I feel like bootless dive is like one of the last things you do. Like you're in go mode, except for Varia, you just, and if it's out of the way, you just skip it and just try for it if you're able to do it. So I'm like, ability to do it aside, I don't know if they would at this point, either of the runners.
Yeah. So we're here at Speed Booster. Bubble Mountain has two Chozo locations, the Wave Beam and this Speed Booster. Going to be looking for at ammo locations in Sunflower's case. She would very much appreciate a third power bomb. Crystal flashing would allow you to refill your energy without sitting at a farm station for quite a while. As with Varia, Ice Second is actually pretty comfy. You can take the Croc Speedway down, and especially if you got the ability to just go to Lower Norfair, do that, and maybe come back to Bubble Mountain on the way back up. So I like this play coming down here first from Fat Scott.
And this is where Scott's going to make up time because Sunflower has to farm up after getting the items at Speed Booster. Scott will just go right by this.
And so I like this little bomb and spring ball farm. Shout out to Spring Ball. No need to turn off that ice beam when you can bomb farm here. Nice little time save of the menuing. Our final Chozo item in Upper Norfair proper will be here at the Wave Beam. Could have potentially elected to wait on that energy tank for the way out, but that's a little bit difficult to skip in the moment if you were planning on just running through it. So there's missile number 2. We've got all of our Chozo ammo out of the way.
All right, good items from here on out.
The worst item in our way is X-ray, and that's 1 out of what, 2, 3 X-rays, another one, so that's 9. So yeah,
Those are good odds.
good stuff. Lots of good stuff in our future, and we do look at a super missile and not get it, which makes sense. Like we said, given the current beam plus the knowledge of Spazer from phatscott, really don't need any more ammo here.
He has new beam if he wants it at the end of the game, but if he happens upon plasma, then he just has full beam, which is way better.
Yes, indeed. So the Bubble Mountain items being a missile and the Spring Ball, we are going to potentially see if what decision phatscott makes. I expect Sunflower's coming down to Crocomire. Do logically need the charge beam for that in Chozo, so could be a hint. If that's not something really good, we're going to be having to see the backtrack up to the various suit. Unfortunate miss for Sunflower thus far in this race, but definitely not over. We don't know what the rest of the seed is going to hold for us. And especially if this is like Gravity, could still be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, Scott did pass by Croc on the way here, so I don't know if his intention is to check it on the way out or just skip it entirely.
Yes. Crocomire in Chozo only having the 1 item and it being the furthest away item at grapple, not the most appetizing, but in certain situations it can, feel pretty good to do, or you may not want to leave it behind for other things that are further away. So we'll see what phatscott decides, as Sunflower is going to show us what's down here once our friendly 6-eyed friend unfortunately meets his end.
A weird place to pick up Spring Ball.
Sometimes you just gotta throw in a little variety in there, We have picked up the speed booster item from the front 100,000 times. Why not get it from the top once? Nice! Like I said,
yeah.
movement-wise, so far has got some skills. Those are the beautiful spring ball to the Croc power bomb. And I think we were trying to deboost over to the non-Chozo reserve, interestingly. Shoutouts to Ice Beam, but not shoutouts to Speed for making that jump awkward.
It's 3 pretty quick checks.
Yes,
Not necessarily majors, but if you're looking for ammo, this is the place to do it.
Yes, indeed. So you do not need high jump to make this jump, but you do need a lot of speed and a decently late jump. We have just an energy tank here, unfortunately. Not going to be worth that time. Plenty of health has been pointed out in chat. Chozo, especially in the quickest of seeds where you don't necessarily look at the non-Chozo items as much, you can get some pretty low health seeds, but that is not the case for either of our runner. So we're going to have to see Sunflower traverse back up Red Tower, most likely run into that various suit, and we'll see if she elects to continue on to the wrecked ship. could look at some X-ray checks with the various suit, and very certain that with the grapple beam, we have at least 2 Chozo tanks in logic. The X-ray scope would be a logical play for her.
I mean, all right, bombs, got it. Yeah, that is a way to do that room.
Both bombs and ice, yeah. So here comes decision point. I assume that if you're comfortable with the bootless dive, you go for that now. If not, you're either doing Crocomire or X-ray or Wreck Ship. You should not, however, go this way without the gravity suit. It is not fast. Is the so-called Remember Highway in the Fantoon first, Ridley second routes of any percent. We started coming this way where pretty much no other route ever sees these rooms, as far as I'm aware. So we remembered that it existed. Fun little place. So are coming here to the lava dive, powerbombing the door and saying goodbye. Quite the fake out there for Fat Scott. As a nice alpha spark from Sunflower. She is showing off all of the vanilla power that she has accrued over the years.
So did Scott just change direction in the middle of that and just reconsider it, or what do you think was going on there?
I will definitely have to try to remember to ask him about that later on. We are going to see Crocomire as well. So, oh, we're not. We're just coming the scenic route. We love Norfair and we want to visit every room. Very interesting. So, both of our runners are going Wreck Ship. Sunflower is actually going to be ahead there. Oh. We're also looking at the short charge and also changing our mind. Much more consistent to do the IBJ.
Did he want the super on the way out? Because just going through Frog Speedway is obviously faster than this, but
yes. High enough that we could do a diagonal bomb. There we go. Up to 40 supers. I'm curious, because of how early on in the seed it is, do you hedge against Plasma and just like go get Spazer as Fat Scott when you come back to the surface? I think that's not a terrible play. His ammo kind of makes it a little unnecessary though, so I think probably not, but it's an option you could consider. I don't think we broke that powerbomb door up here to the corkscrew room, but we can get that on the way down. We're gonna see a little moat spark here, and maybe even potentially full ocean fly, but no charging and no ammo selected. Yeah, just going for moat.
yeah, that's fine. You get to skip an ammo pickup that you don't necessarily need, and you just save a little bit of energy.
Dueling sparks going in the opposite directions from our runners. That was pretty cool, timing wise. And shout out to the ice beam, the intended way to come up here, up red tower. And Fat Scott is giving us this X-ray check. I don't know if he would have saved anywhere prior to this recently. So with the various suit, you are taking half damage from these spikes compared to suitless, as well as the enemies, and we have plenty of that health and even a crystal flash, so it's not super dangerous, but things can go very badly. But yeah, we've got the IBJ freezing a little bit faster, and we do have
there's a Ridley at the wreck ship.
Yeah, and this is gonna be something if it's not at X-ray, because that is a shuffle. Or no, that's surprise. We're still in wreck ship. Never mind. Not surprise shifted. I said all of the wrong things.
That's fine. I do that all the time.
Potential of shifted and surprise boss shuffles here in this seed. Ridley not the easiest boss on various suits, but we did have a ton of health and plenty of supers that Waver wanted to say hello to Fat Scott, give him, I'd say a high five, but it was kind of a low blow, so we're going to call that a low five. Oh, that would have been a really sick wall jump, but couldn't make it happen. But so far, it looks like she's got it in her head to save these 15 supers for the color change and then blast Ridley with the highest DPS output of super missiles. But these have been going a little bit sideways. She is down to 99 energy. And yeah, there's the color change. She can execute the rest of this fight very cleanly. We'll be good to go.
She did take a save at the wreck ship, so not a huge deal if things go wrong, but obviously you want to get this done first try.
Yes, you do. As we bomb spread, for certain that was not intentional. I think 2 probably charge shots should do it, but ooh, the reserve was not full, so that's actually good. I think she's gonna try an explosion kill, or she's gonna try and get the Kago grab here. Do not
This
get
looks
tail
good.
swiped.
There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Down to the wire.
Absolutely clutch gaming by Sunflower, getting that Ridley kill with 18 more energy than she ever needed. And there's the reward, a gravity suit here. Wow. That is like, you breathe that sigh of relief and then you see the gravity and like all of the endorphins just rush through your body. Like, oh yeah, I did that.
Incredible. Did we happen to notice what Scott picked up at X-Ray? Because I
Yes,
missed it.
it was the very often lauded and quite infamous Chozo reserve tank. Not gonna be
Gross.
of any use here, and because of the way that Sunflower did Upper Warfare and also did not do X-Ray, she had pretty close to full health, I'm gonna say, coming up here. Did 2 sparks on the way in here, but Fat Scott's health is not super high, and there is 1 in 9 X-Ray shows up on the second item, or technically the third from our perspective. But shout outs to X-Ray. Sunflower says no, thank you.
All right, so now they all got to be winners, right?
Right now, the worst item is grapple, which is
Grapple. Yeah.
pretty good still.
Yeah.
We have not seen a Dragon. There is a chance there isn't a Dragon, but who's ever going to be upset about seeing the grapple beam? And a nice minor item check there. Sunflower got health bomb from Ridley, so all of her ammo was completely gone. And you do need some to open some doors. Along the way, we are most likely going to be headed down to the lower Norfair section of the game. We can gravity jump to get through Lava Dive. And we've got bombs and spring ball for ways up worst room if you are not comfortable either doing some charge beam strats as you would see in low ice, or the hypo jump, which has gotten more popular but will never be easy. It's just very, very precise. And shift save makes a lot of sense here, I think.
I think she just might be out, just gone out of here. Just skip the rest of Wreck Ship and just do other things.
Yeah, that right super is quick enough, and even Spacer, as well as obviously Plasma, super duper good there, and high jump, the comfiest item ever. So I'm cool with that check. Probably not gonna be doing too many more checks, but behind bosses, typically pretty okay, especially in Chozo. Like we said, especially we know about that Spacer, but even for Sunflower, like Spacer's a good find right now. You really don't kind of want to check any more minors. So beam upgrade is beam upgrade. As I was theorizing, this is going to be a much tougher situation here, killing Ridley with quite low health. We did spark definitely across moat and possibly across ocean as well. I wasn't paying attention to his screen, but he's been doing quite well since triggering reserve. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, so Scott had the ammo for it. He came into the fight with 31 supers, but did miss 2 on the way, and he was just 6 missiles off from the end of that fight. So I'll have to do it over again.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Yeah, 73 health plus whatever's in the reserve, which he just got the second one, so it's definitely not gotten there. And I think he The first one is also very not full because we didn't take a double hit, so gonna have to clutch up and hit this Ridley fight if he wants to be rewarded with the ultimate reward here in the seed. Nice speedball though.
Yeah,
87.
just a casual Ridley fight with 160 health. No problem.
And interestingly, looks like Sunflower is electing to go into Meridia first. I believe it's almost always worse to go here before Lower Norfair, especially because you're unlikely to get any, like, the only item you're really going to check is behind the boss, and that being worthwhile for the routing inefficiency is pretty much close to impossible, as phatscott does nail Ridley on the second try. Very nicely done. But this is the way she wanted to go. She's running new route, or not new route, old route. She's in the mood.
Yeah, it's a thing about like how fast can you do high jumpless lava dive versus maybe you just find space jump or high jump boots in Meridia, like right behind Dragon. But you know, this is a fair play too.
And speaking of old route, like I said, she just wanted to run old route. Ice beam is off. The D factor is on. That looks like a good setup. Oh, I was wrong. Think a little bit too far forward. And messing up X factors, one of the worst feelings in the game because they take forever to leave the screen.
And you can't fire any other shots until all 4 of those particles go away. But good recovery.
Absolutely. So we'll see if Scott elects to go Norfair or Meridia first. Nice spark here for a little bit of a farm. If you are preparing for surprise, you do want to have your ammo full. It's also the case that even Dragon ammo would be nice. You do have the speed booster, but the spark's a little bit more difficult without the high jump boots. And Sunflower also showing off the subpar super drop rate. Lots of empty drops there before getting that final super. But she'll be good no matter what boss comes her way here at the Dragon location.
Not doing the same thing, just piecing out of wreck ship entirely.
Yep, we'll not even see the, to this point, useless X-ray scope, and given Sunflower's route, not really giving herself a chance to get plasma before the Meridia bosses. But it is the case that both of the major bosses left are susceptible to a microwave. Should we have found plasma? But we did not. Here's a vanilla Dragon. As Kraid was vanilla, so too are we here in East Meridia. Still got that ice beam off, so already visualizing a successful X factor here on Dragon. I don't know if you need to do the setup differently without high jump boots, but
so it's likely our boss layout is is it shifted or shuffled? But I don't think it's surprise, since it's very unlikely that it's surprise.
well, this is shifted style, so it's definitely not shuffled. It could be surprise, but like you said, it's overall you're 3 times as likely to roll shifted versus surprise. Is a nice blue suit. That was a very, very nice Dragon fight. If she gets space jump and like all of the old route manifestation, it just comes to fruition here, I would laugh hysterically. But we get the next best thing.
All right, well, that's going to make the lava dive super easier.
Yep. And yeah, that makes the most sense to me. Just spark out of here using that blue suit. If you want to keep it to do the reverse Wumple spark, you would have to either gravity jump or bomb jump out of that room. And given high jump boots especially, it makes a lot more sense to just use it there. You're going to be pretty comfy in this room and every room from here on out. As we get to see another old route decision, the Croc escape route to Lower Norfair versus the Croc or what's that? The Frog Speedway.
So
I know
Scott's
that
gonna take
in
the southern route.
correct. Shoutouts to the Southern route. I believe there's some power bomb consideration in any percent as far as which one you potentially want to take. In randomizer, I assume there's just one correct answer, depending on your movement abilities and items. But I don't know what that answer is. I'm gonna leave that pontification to the members of chat who have been having some fun with us thus far this afternoon.
All right, let's see if he gets Lava Spark.
Ooh, got the charge, got the D-boost. Boom, let's
Yeah,
go. Nicely done, Scott.
sick.
These runners have been absolutely putting on a show for us here. Some nice movements, some nice strats you'd see in vanilla speedruns. The high jump boots are going to be quite comfortable in lower Norfair, and given her position prior to this divergence from Rudia to Norfair, I believe Sunflower is still most likely in the lead. And it also remains to be seen if Scott even checks those high jump boots once he gets there. But they're going to save a lot less time in the much smaller portion of the run that he will have left. As we also laid that first power bomb a little bit too far to the left. You want to be flush and get all of those blocks out of the way, and that way you only have to power bomb twice in this room. Here's
Now,
the other.
interestingly enough, high jump for Sunflower is a huge difference in worst room of the game, which we're about to see from phatscott, who does not have it.
And you are definitely supposed to power bomb before you freeze, because if the enemy's frozen or damaged down, it will kill them. And yes, tried to do some hybrid stuff. That's definitely not high enough, but it will be a higher start for a very nice bomb jump. They surprise me at every turn with these skills. This has been very fun to watch.
That was a very nice backup right there. That's really thinking on your feet there.
Absolutely. And we do have a copious amount of ammo, as well as having already seen a Ridley, you are favored to not see another one, even in the presence of Boss Surprise. Sunflower did try for a Lava Spark. Didn't get it, but with the high jump boost, like you said, this gravity jump is quite easy. If you get it late enough and far left enough, you don't even have to wall jump here up at the top. Like that.
Both of these runners being super impressive. phatscott going through Amphitheater with no high jump boots, which is not as easy as it looks. Sunflower doing the gravity jump in Lava Dive. Just stellar gameplay from both of these runners.
Yes, and a safety save here. We do have some high damage enemies down here in the... I suppose this is the penultimate area of the game, with the final area being Turian, so enemies do a lot of damage even with both suits. So you can run into some trouble, especially with the slightly less comfortable item set as we get. Could have been top shelf on that Pillars Spark. Did end up falling down, but nice short charge there. And this is a new route strategy here with all of the old route prowess she's been showing, but she can do it all apparently. Very nicely done.
Excellent.
Yeah, some nice drops there from the Metal Pirates. We have good amount of super missiles, good amount of health here coming into the pre-Ridley farm. I'm going to do at least a little bit here. More health is always good. From our perspective, it seems most likely that this is the Phantoon boss, but as stated, it does not have to be. So we're being a little safe here. Are going to go forward here and see what our final boss is.
Yep, it is Phantoon.
Yes, indeed it is. See what kind of patterns we can get here. Fantoon, a little bit long way from home here at the lower Norfair boss. Really and Fantoon are the two farthest bosses away from each other, and they decided to shift homes for the day.
Nice on-screen
Doppler
Doppler.
here.
Yep. We both had the same idea.
Unfortunate slow patterns here. 2 right slows in a row. It's just a very, very cruel ghost. We did get the 3 round here. And here comes Fantoon number 2 as 1 disappears, 1 appears. These Fantoons are in consort.
So Scott's gonna have one more boss after this, and this is Sunflower's 4th boss, so she can just make her way directly to Torian.
Absolutely. And got the fast first pattern, got the charge shot, and the X Factor, all 4 particles. Followed by the mid, we do not have much damage to deal. An absolutely blazingly fast boss fight there.
Like she knows how to play the video game.
What a concept here in the Super Metroid Mystery Randomizer tournament. Looks like quite the lead here. The missing of that early Various suit, as stated, did not end up costing her too much, given both our runners needed to route back to Wreck Ship for that gravity suit. The speed booster, as well as the well-placed energy tanks in Upper Norfair, mitigated the advantage that Scott could have had, as well as checking that X-ray for a very useless reserve tank. Those are some of the things that have cost Scott some time, as well as a little bit extra movement advantage. And we do know about a phaser Scott's seen at the gauntlet. Don't really think either of our runners is going to get that. With 50 and 40, the additional damage to your charge beam probably not going to offset the time that it takes to go that way versus just running down Terminator.
So I know Scott knows about Spazer. Does Sunflower know about it? I don't think she went up there.
I also do not believe she went up there. This is one of those rooms that's pretty dangerous, only taking 50 damage here with both suits. We are fine to just tank all of this and deal with the consequences later. Later is Meridia, which does, have a bit of a health requirement if you want to do those quick sparks, but there's some farms along the way if you want to duck under the Frog Speedway.
Meridia is not free by any means. You can absolutely be caught off guard and accidentally take a death you didn't mean to.
All right, especially if you opt for the Shine Sparked Dragon fight. But that will be after plenty of places to farm as well as Batoon drops, so probably what we're most immediately concerned about is the speed at which we get through Everest, given that we want health to spark. So yeah, we are going to see some farm here. Sunflower going to blaze by, already having done Meridia, and having pretty good ammo already. Don't even necessarily need to ship refill here. Just going to be headed to Turian. And yep, there's a positional pass that already existed, giving Meridia difference. And high jump boots as well. Just, you're going to see in this room, you need like probably 3 fewer jumps. But you get a little bit caught up.
So what would you estimate Sunflower's lead to be right now?
All of Meridia plus high jump, probably like 6-ish minutes. And I'm literally spitballing, but that's what I came up with.
Yeah, that's... It sounds as good of a guess as mine, so it's
Oh. The wave beam did not want to open that door for some reason. Yep, just gonna spark up here. We're sparking at different doors here in the Mount Everest location. And that's because we're heading in different directions.
So what's Sunflower's end game look like? Because 3530 on its own isn't enough. We do have all of the charges, but it's only 150 per shot, so don't exactly know how the math is going to line up on that, but it's got to be a lot of charge shots to make up that.
Well, provided she remembers to turn her ice beam on, it will be 180 damage. So, basically one missile less. Well, no, if you refill after doors, you basically have half of your damage in ammo, and then the other half in charge shots. So it'll be a little bit over 50 shots once you factor in the doors and Mother Brain 1. So actually, probably close to 60-ish. Even when I'm playing, typically my math isn't super exact, and I'll just get somewhere close to it. And I'm also not one to count, so I'll just empty all my ammo and then charge shot until the Breen dies. We'll see what Sunflower elects to do here, but she is in control of this race, headed to Turian, while Scott is here in Coliseum, one of the rooms that you like to be able to do in any way other than this one. It's a pretty long room time.
Right, into the elevator at like 50-40-ish. Yep. Hockey Tower keeping us honest in chat with 50-37 going into the room.
He is the man, the myth, and apparently now the tracking legend, Hockey Towner. Shout outs to him. Pushing those buttons for us. And yes, we do have bombs, so we can even do these grouping strats. Like I said, she did not take that ship refill, but you... Well, mate, hold on. She did, definitely, because her ammo is way too full. So...
Yeah, in vanilla map, there's no reason not to, unless you, like, have full beam, I guess.
Yeah, the exact math, knowing all of that will be very difficult to do on the fly. Depends on, obviously, your beam damage, your current ammo, your max ammo, how long that refill is going to take, etc. So, definitely don't begrudge anyone for doing it or not doing it. But with the ice beam, you're going to get so many drops here that you definitely could elect to not do it. That is what gives you the ability to choose that. And we do end up picking up those high jump boots.
It's a free major that's right here. Then it's at least worth looking at. And even at this late stage in the game, it's also worth picking up.
Yep. Baby skip attempt coming here for Sunflower, set up to do the old school style. The baby Metroid moves in a counterclockwise direction. Don't know exactly what went wrong there, but it was something, and we do get grabbed. Not a big deal here. The health was a bit higher than potentially could be, but she's gonna chill here. Smell some bramble. Sometimes you gotta stop and smell the roses in life. Never forget that.
On 1 health? Yeah, absolutely. What else are you going to do?
So, her ammo was not completely full there at the end, but we'll be fine, especially with both the skills shown throughout this race and all of that health. Do not expect any issues in the Mother Brain fights. And it'll just be some charge shotting to a victory, which would put her back at 500, 2-2 in this tournament Swiss portion. You need 3 wins to advance to the bracket stage, so 1 and 2 is a position where you very much are looking to win this week. And Sunflower getting that done will be staying in the 2-loss bracket, where there are sure to be some heavy hitters. This tournament has not been easy from the get-go for a lot of us, and it pretty much won't get any easier unless you don't win. But that's what you want to do, is win.
As it turns out. Remind me how many weeks of Swiss there are?
There are 6.
Gotcha.
So this is close to 20, or basically 20 supers plus a little bit. So 1/3 of the fight with ammo and the other 2/3 with charge beam. So yeah, it's gonna be like 67 shots, probably.
Plenty of health to survive in case things go wrong, but
Yes. And bombs to destroy the
Yeah.
meatballs. Motherbrain doesn't stand a chance here. phatscott had a Shine Spark charge into the ship refill purely for fun. Did not end up sparking anywhere. And Hockey Towners clutch timing going to show us the difference into the G4 door. We're just going to be using Sunflower's timer. So see what the time difference is, and we will be on our way. Yeah.
Something.
5-ish, a little under 5.
And of note, Scott chose not to pick up Spazer knowing where it is. So I guess he decided that the time spent getting it is not the time spent that he would save in the Mother Brain fight.
Yep. In one of my races, I had the ability to check Galded at the end. It wasn't even for an item I knew was there. It was just for miners because of how bad my beam damage was. And I was informed that with like space and screw, it's about 27 seconds slower to go that route. And like I said, given all of the ammo he has, I don't think you're saving 27 seconds plus a fanfare. And like I said, that's with space and screw, and we have neither. So
Gotcha.
Plasma would probably, even Plasma would be hard to be worth it. You have so much ammo.
Like I could see it on like min ammo, like maybe
Oh, yeah,
like
if we were
half
throwing it, like-
of what they have.
Yeah, for sure. We're on the right side of the room. We have not taken any damage from the side hopper. That leads me to believe we are trying to baby skip. Oh yeah, he got high jump, and my brainy didn't have it still. So of course we're gonna go for that. A little bit of a hiccup on that dust thing, but recovered well. Nicely done, Scott.
Yeah. Just accidentally landing on the destroyed Ripper, I'm sure threw a spanner in the works, but here we are. We did it.
Yes, indeed. As we're headed towards the Mother Brain fight. Poor Scott. Sunflower is in the cutscene between the second and third phases. And we're going to do the second Zeb skip even without the screw because we like it.
Yeah.
It is sometimes called the spring ball Zeb skip, as you just saw. We have the spring ball, but we didn't need to use it. You can't just morph and unmorph and gain the requisite heights. As Mother Brain has killed the baby, and the baby has sought revenge through Samus, giving us the hyper beam. Some nice, consistent shots here. She's a little bit farther right than I'm used to seeing. Might be a little bit laggier than you could be, but in any case, quickly dispatched of Mother Brain 3. And we are looking at a sub-hour time here. Both of our runners did elect to stop shooting supers at a certain point and wait for ketchup to come out before firing the rest of them. It is the highest damage portion of the fight, Ketchup can double hit you and do 200 damage, or even a quad hit Onion Ring is only going to do 80. But it's also one of the more regular parts of the fight. A lot of people like to just use all ammo and then charge shot there. It's pretty much up to you what you want to do. Here is the climb spark for Sunflower as we are closing in on this finish of Mother Brain 2, I believe, on Scott's side. Yep, there's the head going up, but we are quickly going to be seeing the done in race time and a well-run race for Sunflower to advance or to improve to 2-2 in this race. She is going to step on the ship and hit a done with an official race time of 59 minutes and 25 seconds. Nice race.
Very nice race.
Lots of GG's in chat. We are going to have Scott finish this one out. Being already here in the Mother Brain fight makes perfect sense.
Yep, Scott's just a few minutes out from finishing it up.
Let's see if either of our runner wants to come in and have a chat with us today. So then we can possibly get a look at where our final major items were: the plasma beam, the grapple beam, and space jump and screw attack. Unfound in the seed, we've got wreck ship E, tank, bowling missile, plasma, and spring ball. I think those are the places we didn't look.
Yep. Poor Shactal, we never see what's behind there unless things have gone horribly wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen a Mother Brain explode when her neck is all the way back like that. Then it has to pop back into place.
Nice door in that first escape room. I'm going to see a very standard escape here with movement items you would have in most vanilla speedruns. High jump, speed, no space jump, but we'll be fine without that. First thing we're going to look at is a plasma beam, which was at the screw attack. That's the place I didn't mention. I think there was an E-tank outstanding, so that's why there were 4 items in 5 places. Left look, space jump was at plasma, screw attack was at bowling, and grapple was at spring ball. And we had a double jump in the seed. Who knew?
I think it's been in my seeds that have been Jozo. It's just part of the minor pool.
That's correct. As Scott does end up on the ship, second place finish with a 1 hour, 2 minute, and 43 seconds. GG's to him as well. He said he's going to skip on the interview. Haven't heard anything from Sunflower yet, but we'll at the very least go through the end of Scott's credits. And if she also doesn't want to come in here, we will be done for this race. Very happy to have joined you in the commentary booth, Crazy Gamer, and once again, shout outs to Hockey for tracking for us. give a shout out to our runners here. If you enjoyed the show put on today, feel free to give them a follow. That's the links provided in the chat. Both of them will have 2 more matches here in this tournament. Like we said, 6 weeks of Swiss. And even at the 1-3 record, Scott is not eliminated. He would need to win 2 games in a row to make it to the bracket stage. Sunflower now needs 1 win in 2 weeks, which is a pretty good position. I also know we do have a standings page in the Discord. I know her Blue Colts was the same as mine coming in here with the way that it works, dropping your highest and lowest scoring opponent. This was the first week where that actually mattered as far as the pairings, and it's a little bit difficult to know before everything is done exactly how you're gonna pan out. But like we said, she faced off against Zeb, and I know he won his race this week, so he's got 3 points. That might be her drop. Where else is she? 1, 2. She played Sunblue Farmer, who has 2 wins. So Zeb's probably her drop. Papa Schmo, he's got 1, and Fat Scott's also 1. So that looks like it should be a 3 total, I think. So yeah, she'll be good. And Pops also hasn't played this week, so it's possible she gets another point.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, even though these runners were 1 and 2 coming into this week, this could have been very easily this is potentially also just a bracket matchup as well, just based on how good these runners are. So just talent all about the place.
Absolutely. With needing a 500 record, I don't know. I think probably half of the people get in, but there's only 42, and there's a lot of really good runners in here. So you have lots of skill at pretty much every stage of the record pool at this point. So,
no rounds are free.
Definitely not. I'm going to pull up our upcoming schedule. I know there is another race here shortly today at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is in about 90 minutes. We have Ace Zero versus Anthony. That's also down here in the 1-2. Or that's actually the odd pairing. Ace is 1 and 2. Anthony is 2 and 1. So that's the 2-1 pair down. That will be on the same Speed Gaming channel. There's actually a new submission here: Salty Pigeon versus Freddy NK at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Hopefully that gets approved, and we'll see if we can get some volunteers to get that one on restream. And then tomorrow we've got 3 races on the schedule, 1 Monday and 1 Tuesday. So still plenty of action here to come in week 4. So if you are a fan of Super Metroid Randomizer, stick around here on the Speed Gaming family of channels for more action in this mystery randomizer tournament. And that's been it for me. I'm going to let Crazed take us on out.
Yep, you pretty much said everything I wanted to say. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed that, and we will see you next mission.